What if I told you that Nikola Tesla didn't just die in peace? What if his death unleashed a storm of secrets? 2 days after he died, the FBI raided his room and took everything. Thousands of pages, hidden inventions, plans for powerful weapons. For years, they denied having his work, but the truth is far darker. Declassified files reveal a web of lies, cover-ups, and secret missions. The FBI lied, the CIA watched, and Tesla's dreams vanished. What were they hiding? Stay with me. This story will change how you see history and the world around you. Nikola Tesla was not just an inventor, he was a man far ahead of his time. Born in 1856, he dreamed of changing the world, and he did. Almost everything we use today can be traced back to his genius. Electricity powers our homes because of him. Tesla unlocked the secret of the alternating current, which we still rely on daily. But that's not all. He built the first electric motor. He invented the remote control. Even radio waves, often credited to Marconi, were Tesla's discovery. The Supreme Court later ruled in Tesla's favor. Yet, most people still don't know this. Tesla didn't stop there. He saw the future long before anyone else. In 1926, he described a small device that fits in your pocket. He said it would let people see and hear each other worldwide. Today, we call that a mobile or a smartphone. Back then, people thought he was mad. He also worked on wireless energy. Imagine powering cities without wires. Tesla believed it was possible. He built a huge tower to prove it, but his funding was pulled. Powerful men feared what free energy could do to their profits. Tesla held hundreds of patents worldwide, and his inventions have shaped our modern lives. But in his final years, he lived alone, poor and ignored by the very world he helped build. Little did anyone know that his death would spark one of history's deepest mysteries. Tesla died alone in his hotel room on January the 7th, 1943. He was 86 years old and living at the New Yorker Hotel in Manhattan, far from the bright lights of fame he once knew. The man who dreamed of lighting up the world passed quietly, but what happened next was quiet. Just 2 days later, the FBI rushed into his room. They didn't waste a second. Agents gathered everything Tesla owned. They took boxes, trunks, and even his smallest note. Reports say they filled 2 full trucks with his belongings. Over 80 trunks were hauled away, packed with papers, drawings, and unknown devices. This raised a chilling question. If Tesla was dismissed as an eccentric old man, why did the government seize his work quickly? What were they afraid of? Then comes another twist. The FBI claimed they handed Tesla's things to the Office of Alien Property, but Tesla was a US citizen. He had been for over 50 years. Why treat him like a foreign enemy? Why such secrecy? And what's even stranger is who they picked to review his papers. A man named John G. Trump, a respected MIT professor. In just 3 days, he declared nothing valuable in Tesla's notes. But could anyone truly go through the life's work of a genius that quickly? The more you look at it, the more it feels like they were hiding something big. Very big. For decades, the FBI told the same story. They claimed they had nothing to do with Tesla's belongings, never touched his papers, and never even searched his hotel room. They gave a simple answer. The FBI was not involved. But this was a lie. In 2013, under the Freedom of Information Act, the FBI was forced to release thousands of papers of declassified files. And what those papers revealed was shocking. The FBI did have Tesla's documents. Not only that, but they made copies of them and created microfilms photographing every single page of his work. For years, they played with words, twisting the truth. They say they didn't have Tesla's original papers, and maybe they didn't, but they had the copies. They had the information. They had the secrets. Now, these documents even described Tesla's handwriting. They mentioned how difficult it was to read, as if they spent time studying every detail. They went through his work very carefully, no matter what they claimed. But it gets worse. Many of the pages released to the public were covered in heavy black marks. Whole sections were blocked out, making it impossible to know what was written. Why hide so much after all these years? If Tesla's papers were useless, why keep them secret? Why lie about these for over 70 years? It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What were they trying so hard to protect? And it makes you question just how deep this cover-up goes. If you thought the FBI's involvement was suspicious, wait until you hear what the CIA was up to. This part of the story takes things to a whole nother level. As you know, the CIA wasn't even formed until 1947. That's 4 years after Tesla died. Yet, somehow, they ended up deep in Tesla's business. When President Obama declassified millions of CIA documents in 2017, people worldwide focused on the big stories: UFOs, psychic experiments, and torture programs. However, buried inside these files were documents about Nikola Tesla. The CIA had been investigating Tesla's work and overseas facilities. They collected inventories, listed names, and tracked locations connected to Tesla. The strange thing is that the records feel incomplete, like entire chapters of the story are missing. Where are these documents from the start of the investigation? Where are the final reports? It feels like someone ripped pages out of a book, leaving us only fragments. Even more curious, the timeline matches too perfectly. The year 1952 stands out. That's the same year the US government finally returned Tesla's belongings to his family. Coincidentally, it's also the year the CIA seems to have wrapped up their secret investigation. Think about it. Why would the CIA, an agency that didn't exist when Tesla died, spend years digging into his work? What were they hoping to find, and did they succeed? The deeper you go, the clearer it becomes. Tesla's story is not just about lost inventions. It's about something far more hidden and far more dangerous. Before his death, Tesla made one final chilling claim. He said he'd perfected a powerful weapon to bring down aeroplanes from the sky. He called it the Death Ray. Newspapers at the time reported on it, but many people thought it was just the ramblings of an old inventor. But was it? Tesla believed this weapon could defend entire nations. He wanted to create a world where war would be impossible. No army would dare attack, knowing such a weapon could wipe them from the sky. He said it wasn't science fiction, but it was really. Now think about this. If Tesla truly built such a device, wouldn't that explain the sudden rush to seize his papers? Wouldn't that explain why the FBI and the CIA showed such deep interest in his work long after he died? Even today, militaries are working on energy weapons like the so-called heat ray. These weapons use direct energy to disable targets without a single bullet. Does this sound familiar? Tesla's death ray might not have stayed locked in history. It may have been the blueprint for weapons we see today. If that's the case, then Tesla's final invention was never found. It was hidden and perhaps secretly developed in the shadows. We've been taught for years that Thomas Edison was the greatest American inventor, the man behind the light bulb, but the truth is far more twisted. Edison didn't invent the light bulb. He bought the patent and paid others to improve it. Then he stamped his name on it and became rich and famous. Meanwhile, Tesla, the true genius, was pushed into the shadows. Edison even promised Tesla a huge reward for improving his electrical system. But when Tesla succeeded, Edison laughed it off and refused to pay him. Tesla had outsmarted him, and Edison never forgave him. It gets worse. Edison ran a brutal campaign to destroy Tesla's alternating current system. He staged public executions of animals just to scare people. He claimed Tesla's system was dangerous, all to protect his profits. So ask yourself, why is Edison celebrated in schools, while Tesla is barely mentioned? Why is the man who lit up the world forgotten? The answer feels clearer with every layer of this story we uncover. Now, this is where it all comes together. Tesla wasn't just working on motors and electricity. He dreamed of something bigger. He believed he could give the world free, unlimited energy, power that traveled through the air wirelessly for anyone to use. Imagine it. No power plants, no energy bills, no control by giant corporations, and energy as free as the air we breathe. Tesla even built the tower to do it. He wrote dozens of letters begging for funding to complete the project, but the men who controlled the banks and industries had other plans. They knew free energy would destroy their profits, so they pulled the plug. Tesla's tower was dismantled, his research is buried, and the world kept paying for energy that in Tesla's vision should have been free. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Was this just about money, or was it about control? Control over energy means control over people. Maybe that's why Tesla's dream was turned into a nightmare, and his secrets were locked away for so long. So what are we left with? A brilliant inventor erased from our history books. His work seized, copied, and hidden. A government that lied for decades, secret investigations that stretched across the world, and inventions that could have changed our lives. Tesla wanted to give power to the people, literally. But power in the wrong hands becomes control. The mystery isn't over. Maybe it's just beginning.